Bilinguals of Reddit, what's your? They didn't know I spoke their language story. Part 3. So, not actually bilingual, but I learned to say the sentence, I understood what you said, and it was very offensive. And the word fat, as in, a person, in Mandarin and Cantonese. I used to be very overweight and loved Chinese food. Anytime I would go to a new place, I'd order a lot of food, typically in those buffet-style to-go places where they scoop your food down a line. And listen for the magic word. If I heard it, I'd throw my one line that I knew at them. Got me 20 free meals with complimentary profuse apology over the course of 3 or so years. And the more free meals you get, the fatter you get, so the more people will talk shit about you, so the more free meals you get. My God, it's the perfect crime. I was casually sitting in science class, during a free period, minding my own business, when this attention seeker walks over to me and proceeds with small talk. So, you know Polish? Yeah? How do you say in Polish? Kroka. He proceeded to shout Kroka out at the entire classroom, and named people the words I told him were supposedly swearing. What he didn't know. The girl who sat next to me also knew Polish, and was laughing her ass off for a reason. Kroka means baby cow. I was visiting the Netherlands after a 15-year residency there with my girlfriend who is English. Now Dutch and English people look quite similar as they are both primary white countries, and I am a beautiful big bearded hairy Kurtishman. As we were sitting on the bus, and mind you, this guy was eating a kebab of all foods to be racist while eating, said the following to the man next to him: "It is always a shame when I see our," implying any white woman, "girls date those dirty Turks," and I went off. Turned around and these two men look like they live off benefits, and I said something along the lines of, "If we never came to this country you wouldn't be scourging on that kebab, you old bastard," and sat back down as if nothing happened, then explained to my girlfriend staring at me like I was some sort of psychopath what the man just said, and she burst out laughing. This was the first time I called out someone being racist to me, and it felt quite good to say the least. Even though my insult wasn't the best, it was good enough for me. Not my story, but my cousin's. She was dating a guy from Colombia, and she is a completely white Midwestern gal. They were in Florida and he took her out to a club, and someone at the door was speaking to him in their native language, and they left without going in. Little did he know my cousin took more than enough Spanish in school to figure out why they left. The guy at the door said something about that they shouldn't go inside because his other woman was in there. That was pretty much the end of that relationship. I wasn't the bilingual one, but my bilingual friend was really the star of the show. I am a straight guy and my bilingual friend is gay. We were in college for summer school 20 plus years ago, and everyone taking classes stayed in the same old dormitory. It was a school with a lot of international students who had even greater representation in the summer because they typically didn't fly home for just 3 months. My friend had a computer, I didn't, so he told me I could go into his room anytime and use it if he didn't need it at the time. My friend was white, but had spent a number of his childhood years in Japan and spoke Japanese like a native. We were talking and walking down the hall toward his room, and 2 Japanese exchange students began talking to one another in Japanese, looking at us and snickering. My friend looks over and starts dressing them down in absolute perfect Japanese, and they are horrifically embarrassed. They began profusely apologizing and hurriedly walking away. I turned to my buddy, "What did they say?" "They were making some disparaging remarks about your sex life, so I told them they were wrong and not to be rude," he said. Then he quipped, "They were making some disparaging remarks about my sex life, too, but those were all true."